I'm sharing with you what's on my mind. I'm going to reveal something to you that I have kept to myself the past 4 or 5 months. But I think, as the American citizen who loves this country, it's maybe appropriate that I do share this with you. By the way, I know we're getting weary of it because who can watch a news show from beginning to end if they haven't watched the one before that and the one before that or 10 others that day? And I'm not knocking the news people, but we're hearing constantly about the fabric in this country of prejudice, of racism, and the business of white privilege, which I really, can I be honest with you, and I don't think I'm that naive, think exists. I think a tremendous amount of money is being made on this movement by all sides, Democrat, Republican, you name it. I'm not blaming anyone for this. And the money negotiations are just out of control. The sharing that I want to alert you about is that I was recently approached, months and months ago, but I was approached by an organization, a foreign organization, regarding my abilities and my style of working and the techniques I use and what have you. And it was with the intent of sharing it with their audiences in their country for a week's time. Audience sizes probably would have varied, what have you. But at the same time, there's a great deal of interest for various reasons, some good, some bad, regarding my ability to read thoughts and my ability also to expound on how we influence others. Because today we are filled with such a conglomeration of influences that many people are afraid to comment on something or to even express an opinion. The COVID 1 year, more than 1 year, has proved for our enemies, and we do have enemies, to be a weapon of war. The COVID is probably one of the most powerful weapons in the recorded history of warfare. It certainly is something that we never dreamt about, and the disasters, the suggestion has been things becoming so confusing, and I've been reminded that I've mentioned this for 3 years now privately to reporters and other writers, not to make it public, but they said, Kreskin, wouldn't it be sad if it was correct that with all the contradictions in our country, the minimizing of feelings, the lack of concern, and also the over-concern over any remark made, the country is so divided that maybe you're right, that the only thing that could bring this country together is a disaster far worse than 9/11. Well, that is not a prediction from me. It's a passing remark I've made in frustration, now off and on for 3 or 4 years, never making it on any public broadcast. And I hope I am totally wrong that any such thing could possibly happen. Because if anything's going to save this country, is the future of the country, that being to reunite. And I mean reunite. There will be no profit from the enemy as far as I am concerned, because I decided months ago that while the company and the organizations within the country were reflecting the interest of that nation, I did not want to take any money or have any profit on my record that I did a financial deal, no matter how well paying, with the Chinese Communist Party. Because the amount of money and what they have invested in this country is staggering, including the teaching of young people, buildings in New York City, the ownership of broadcast networks, and you name it. So no, I cannot live with this. I could not have grandchildren or people looking in the past saying, well, he made this money and took this money away from a communist nation, because it is the greatest danger that the world has at this time. I feel very, very strongly that we need to rebuild our our free world. This is a united country, and we are at war. It is a war unlike any we've ever understood in the past, and it's dealing with the manipulation of our children, their future, what they believe in, our entertainment, if they can kill the entertainment, the food we eat, the places we visit, the churches we go to. There's even in, as I'm sure most of you know by now, in Hollywood, an organization built on destroying religion, even in the United States. And yes, it is true. It's been made public the past 10 days that there has been less attendance to religious affairs than we have seen in many, many years. Don't blame me for this, because my faith is an important part of my life, just as important, certainly, as the United States of America. We're in a world war, but I hope, and I think the answer has to be, that we need to find a true leader that will unite the spirit of the United States. And that leader will have great wisdom. That leader will have energy, boundless energy. And that leader will have a tremendous feeling of leadership. That is what's going to save the future of this country. As far as our being hit with a disaster far worse than 9/11, pray to God that never happens. If it does, I can tell you now, I'm convinced it will be communist China. The munitions and the techniques and technology that they're working on, even how to find out what people are thinking beyond their glancing at advertisements in stores or food windows and what have you. So we have to realize that we've got to meet our opponents and our competition and rise above it. But let's find that leader. I can't think of who it is today. I can't possibly point to someone immediately, but that leader must have great wisdom, great energy, and in the end, be a master of leadership. Be the good Lord willing, folks, this to continued in a very positive way as part of the United States of America.